Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing? Hello, Alan Wake, playing some Quantum Break. You enjoying your time, Freddy? Welcome back to Reading Time. We've got so many SCPs to catch up on. Good, that's good to hear. Yeah, we're going to be probably reading up to 5 this evening. However, we might be having a bit of a problem. Because I'm not sure if the new setup is conducive to, well, reading or not. 5? Yes, up to 5. Don't know if we'll get them all. But that's the list that I have prepared already. One of them is another hella long one. People really like giving me long ones. 5 months? Yes, we have 5 months worth of SCPs. Perhaps we start. Perhaps we do. But yeah, this room is very echoey, especially with the having just been cleaned. A lot of the stuff that was, you're having a little bit of the sound has gotten removed. So like, I feel like I'm echoing a lot. I don't know if there's a lot I can do about that, except for maybe one thing. Also, people are still launching fireworks. So if you hear popping noises in the background, no, people are not dying. They're just firing off fireworks at 10 o'clock at night. I'm gonna try a thing. Something I haven't done since college. Going to put a blanket over my head. Happy 4th of July, Eve. 4th of July, too. Actually, I wonder if I could get like a little standing tent to put up in here to catch a lot of my audio. This isn't going quite as well as I would have hoped. This old blanket thing. I think that's probably as good as I can get it. Alright, let me take a quick drink. Alright. Shush. Shush. There we go, I think. I need to be closer. You know, I could probably actually set up my old microphone again, but I think this one is actually better. I'm not close enough. Maybe if I speak up a little bit more. Speak up a little bit. There, I think that's a decent level. All right. Let's get started. Does anyone remember Fritz Obermeyer? By the order of the Overseer Council, the following file is level 4/5353 classified. Unauthorized access is forbidden. 5353. Item number SCP-5353. Object class Keter. Level 4/5353. Classified. Special containment procedures. Encounters with SCP-5353 are to be reported to Agent Hester Melise at Site-122. Any incidents involving SCP-5353 should be dealt with under Protocol Ajax-4, utilizing the press, government contacts, and tactical use of experimental amnestic drugs to preserve the veil. Description: SCP-5353 is an anomalous humanoid, first observed by the Foundation in Belgium in 1917. SCP-5353's name and purpose are unknown, and a few solid details about his appearance are available. The only consistent facts are that he appears and identifies as male, and that he always wears a white suit. SCP-5353 has been cited worldwide, and is believed to possess several contacts among the anomalous underground. He appears to have little interest in the Foundation and its activities, but has interacted in both a friendly and hostile manner, depending on circumstances. SCP-5353 may have an unidentified link with POI-000, nobody. And most sightings of SCP-5353 in recent decades have involved POI-000 to some degree. The exact nature of their relationship is unknown, but it is evidently a hostile one, with several altercations between the two on record. Update: 17th of May, 1975. In the last 2 months, an unusual acceleration of SCP-5353 and POI-000 incidents have been recorded in the western United States. This has made the containment situation more unstable. Agent Hester Melise, based on her highly successful record in containing SCPs blank and blank, has been assigned to track down and apprehend SCP-5353, as well as POI-000 if possible. The following table is a summary of the aforementioned incidents. Date: 16th of March, 1975. Location: Parham, Nevada. Anomalies involved: POI-000. Notes: a man described as a hobo in old rags reportedly held conversations with several local citizens, asking them if they knew of any shops selling war memorabilia. Only one person answered in the affirmative and won $10,000 in the lottery the next day. 23rd of April, 1975. Boise, Idaho. SCP-5353. A man in a white suit was spotted putting up identical leaflets in Boise's North End. Each leaflet bore anomalous text that cannot be perceived. 5th of May, 1975. Nevada City, California. SCP-5353. A man in a white suit was seen standing in a woodland near the town by several individuals, smoking a cigarette. When questioned by locals, he stated that he was waiting for a sign. 3 days afterwards, a large wildfire abruptly began in the forest. 12th of May, 1975. Del Muerto, Navajo Reservation, Arizona. POI-000. Figure in rags with an indistinct face, seen visiting the houses of several windows over the course of the day. 1 week later, all these women abruptly traveled to at the same time to several different towns in southern Nevada. All of them made a call at a payphone to an unknown number, each stating, "No one is home," before returning. None of them can recall doing so. Update: 1st of June, 1975. On the 26th of May, Agent Melise was able to track down and attempted to apprehend the anomaly. A log of her efforts can be found below. Incident Log 5353-1. 26th of June, 1975. Location: Paulina Lake, Oregon. Agent Melise is standing on a wooded slope near the edge of the lake. It is late afternoon. A small beach next to the lake is up ahead. SCP-5353 can be seen sitting on it, smoking a cigarette. Melise approaches slowly.
It's beautiful out here, don't you think?
Melise stops.
How the hell did you hear me? I barely made a sound. That's your opening salvo? Well, you've got the drop on me now. There's no point in trying to arrest an ageless dandy without the element of surprise. Long experience has taught me that you cryptic types always have something irritatingly relevant up your sleeve. Won't you appear to be angry? I know my methods. They work. You wait for the right moment, and if you don't have the right moment, you don't make your play. It's called a modicum of caution. You're Hester Melise, I take it. Your reputation precedes you. How'd you know? I have friends in low places. You've made quite a stir in the 3 Portlands. Such a scene. It'll take months for the artists to recover. And the business in Toronto? How did you manage to infiltrate the children so thoroughly?
Quite easily. They're a pack of walking cliches.
Melise sits down beside SCP-5353, facing the lake. She pulls out a cigarette.
Got a light?
Here.
SCP-5353 lights Melise's cigarette.
You are right. It is beautiful here.
You know who it's named for?
No, I'm not from here.
About your head chief named Paulina. He refused to move his tribe to a reservation, so he made a famous last stand. So many famous last stands in those days.
This is a caldera, isn't it?
Indeed so. A great crater lake sitting on great fires beneath the earth. Very poetic.
The two sit in silence for a while.
Don't you have some questions for me?
I'm working my way there. My schedule today is pretty thin beyond contain SCP-5353, and that's been blown. It's such a pretty day.
You're an odd one.
Aren't I just? Beginning to think this meeting wasn't a result of my impeccable talent as a tracker, but because you wanted me to find you.
And why would I want that?
So that you could engineer a situation where you and I have a civil conversation and you convince me to do your dark bidding. It's happened before.
My bidding is hardly dark. Haven't you seen my suit? Bright as the sun.
The darkest ones often are.
You're a very perceptive young lady, I have to say.
Thank you.
But you are also Foundation. Foundation types are dangerous. You always believe in problematic things.
And you don't? We've been tracking you a long time. The list of crimes you're linked with is huge.
But I do it for the sake of life, Miss Melise. What do you do it for?
His life could be better. We can take it somewhere else. Strip away the dark and let the people flourish as they're meant to. The Foundation could be a force for good, for liberation, for a bright new world. Or something like that anyway.
You almost sound like him.
POI 000?
Nobody you mean? Yes, I once tried to explain to him the joys of sitting by a lake in the summer sun. But he didn't get it. He got quite angry, as I recall. He's a dull conversationalist.
I got the impression you guys mostly just punched each other.
We do, but it helps to take stock sometimes. Nobody is a monster, after all.
Well, you would say that.
You know what he does? What he is? All his victims, they lose their names, their identities, their everything that makes them human. He's an eater of souls.
Very poetic. But people are more than just names.
Are they? A name is everything. A name anchors you. Did you ever come across someone called Fritz Obermeyer?
Can't say I have.
No. I didn't think so.
So let me guess. You lured me here to convince you that you are actually a brave hero, fighting an impossible war against nobody, and that I and my good comrades should bring him to justice?
No. I lured you here to look at the lake. Take it in.
There is a pause. Agent Melise looks around the lake.
It is beautiful. What does that have to do with anything?
Look at the trees on the opposite shore. Look at the water. At the birds flying in the sky. The sweep of the mountain. This place is unique. Imagine the roads stretching away, becoming busier and more complex, leading into towns and cities, winding into suburbs and alleyways. The roads of America, a grand chessboard I travel on. Still not getting it. Just think of what nobody is. He's what you get when you lose sight of why you do what you do. He just goes through the motions, not caring how many people he murders. He could never appreciate the specificity of things, the tenor of human life. The way people are and think and feel. That's why, despite the sometimes reprehensible acts I've committed against others, I'm still different from him. I mean, they're still dead, but I do it in the name of humanity. He does it because he doesn't know what else to do with himself. What are the two of you even doing anyway? Driving around upsetting local widows, posting up flyers? Not your usual style. We're looking for someone. Well, maybe someone isn't the right word, but it's the closest one I can think of. I have an offer to make him, and nobody doesn't want me making it. Oh, very cryptic. Hey, a man has a reputation to maintain. But if you must know, well, I'm tired of this endless conflict. It's time we came to an end. And the man we're looking for might just know his secrets.
SCP-5353 stands up.
Leaving so soon? You were just about to get interesting. I think.
I have an appointment in... Well, that would be telling. But do me a favor. When he comes for you, and he will come for you, think about what I've said. Think about what the Foundation would be like if they had all the drive in the world and no purpose. Doing things and hurting people just because that's what they'd always done. Like an automaton. Then you'll understand what nobody is.
SCP-5353 walks away. Agent Melise looks out over the lake for a couple of minutes before leaving. End log. Update. 6th of August, 1975. The following is a log of activities involving POI-000 and SCP-5353 since Incident 5353-1. Date: 16th of June, 1975. Location: Detroit, Michigan. Anomalies involved: POI-000. Notes: a large factory explosion was linked back to POI-000, who had been spotted conversing with the perpetrators some days before. Subsequent records revealed that the German-born owner of the factory was a wanted war criminal who had fled to America under a false passport. 21st of July, 1975. Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. SCP-5353. An unidentified man in a white suit was seen in conversation with several local officials. The following day, a major bribery and corruption scandal involving these officials was exposed, causing a political crisis and major protests in Chippewa Falls. 28th of July, 1975. Natchez, Mississippi. POI-000. Several anomalous symbols were painted by associates of POI-000 on the ground at key intersections. Each of these contained an info-hazardous effect which rendered them unable to be perceived, but instead induced a severe manic and depressive effect. Several individuals suffered mental breakdowns and were hospitalized following this incident. Update. 17th of September 1975. On the 15th of September 1975, Agent Malise managed to track down POI 000 and engage the subject in a brief conversation. A log of this can be found below. Incident Log 55353-2. Date: 15th of September, 1975. Location: Bluefield, West Virginia. Begin log. It is night. Agent Malise is walking down an alleyway on the city's outskirts. Distant police sirens can be heard. An indistinct figure is leaning against the wall and looks up as Malise passes.
Got a light?
Malise stops suddenly and looks at the figure.
Hey, that's my line.
The figure chuckles and holds out a cigarette. Malise takes out a lighter and lights his cigarette, revealing him to be POI 000. No body.
It's been a long time, Hester. What was it? Prague 67?
68. You'd have thought you'd remember that year. Quite a lot happened.
To you, maybe. To me, it was just another inevitability.
So, how will this go then? You give me a bit of a spiel about why no, actually you're the good one all along, and I should join you to help bring down the man in white.
Nah, girl. That is not how this story is going to go. We're not having a cutesy little conversation about our respective philosophies and come to some interesting conclusions. I've been on the road for days, weeks, surviving on cigarette butts and pennies thrown in my face. Now, this is me telling you to stop following me, us, and you listening.
During the speech, Agent Malise moves her hand to rest on her firearm.
This must be that famous nobody charm I've heard so much about. Maybe the man in white was right about you.
The man in white has never done a day's work in his damn life. He thinks this is a game, a chessboard. He thinks we should all sit down a couple of times a day to contemplate the infinite. He saunters around on his dime store humanism and presumes to tell the rest of us how to live our lives.
I seem to have touched a nerve. Didn't know you had any left.
Do you even know what he is? The cosmic rag and bone man. What he's made of. Took me a long time to work it out. Took the last version of me even longer. His hatred of me has nothing to do with principle. It's all ego. Personal ego. That's almost literally what he is.
Spare me the sermon. Why shouldn't I follow you? I have a job to do, the same as you.
And I say again, this is not what we are doing here.
The lights in the neighboring streets all switch off. Agent Malise gently levers her firearm out of her holster, but doesn't train it on POI 000.
Do you want me to play the correct part, Hester? The cosmic tramp, stick and mustache, and silent song and dance? The mad prophet wandering the roads of America scaring the locals?
Very spooky. Why don't you come a little closer and we can test my theory about your nerves?
There are people choking every damn day of their lives in coal mines, dreaming of the sun. There are people starving over sun-baked plains, waiting for their lives to end. I walk through those who are maimed, starved, beaten, and bruised, because no one else will. I do what I have to do to keep this broken world running, so that someone, anyone, can have a lick of chance at life. You know I found him in a clan outfit once. What? The man? Yeah. 5 years ago in fucking Ohio, of all places. I asked him about it a while later. He claimed he was trying it on, and that he was interested in the history. I think he took the name Man in White a shade too literally. Fascinating. You go on.
Agent Melise slowly raises her firearm until it is pointing at POI 000.
How's Tyler doing these days?
Agent Melise freezes.
Don't you fucking dare. He must be, what? 4, 5? If you even think. And I hear you even rolled him in the Foundation's Young Achievers program. Fascinating. Do you know why I so rarely help you? Because you're all the kind of people who put their children into fascist brainwashing camps when they're barely infants. Do you really want your son to have the same life you've had? He is none of your business. No, he's not. It's just an observation. I can see the Foundation. I can see what you are. All that energy. All those rules. Not real rules, but invented ones. I can see where you're going to. More research. More militarization. Fewer compromises. Handshakes with politicians and cocktail parties in Baghdad. And a machine. A frightful machine. An inevitable machine. That someone will have to make, and that the Foundation will have to have. A machine that will cement their empire. Well, Tyler, thank you.
Agent Melise fires. She misses. POI 000 lunges toward her, grabbing the gun and violently biting her arm. Melise screams and drops her firearm.
Clever girl. You fucking... It has. You can't take me in. And I don't want to hurt you. So leave me alone. Never.
POI 000 lifts his hands in apparent frustration.
Fine. Whatever. Go digging where you shouldn't. You won't win. Like I said, that isn't how this story goes. The plucky detective doesn't get her easy resolution. There's an old friend I'm looking for. And if I don't get to him before the Man in White, it'll give him an offer he can't refuse, and make the next few decades a real pain in my ass. So whatever necessary measures must be taken, this is bigger than you. All you'll get is what's left over.
POI 000 stubs his cigarette on the wall, turns and starts walking away.
Be seeing you. Wait.
Agent Melise leans against the wall on her good arm, steadying her breathing. POI 000 continues to walk away. Wait, you fuck. One more thing. Have you ever heard of someone named Fritz Obermeyer? POI 000 turns back and grins. Agent Melise's blood is visible on his teeth.
Oh, yes. Yes, I have.
End log. Update. 3rd of October, 1975. The following is a log of activities involving POI 000 and SCP-5353 since Incident 5353-2. Date: 23rd of September, 1975. Location: Cut Bank, Montana. Anomalies involved: SCP-5353. Notes. Anomaly was spotted conversing with POI 6236, Old Mag, a former resident of the Three Portlands who was renowned for her fortune-telling abilities. SCP-5353 asked an unknown question, which POI 6236 responded by shouting, "It will bleed their names, it will strip their souls," repeatedly. SCP-5353 then shot her twice in the stomach and departed. POI 6326 subsequently expired. 1st of October, 1975. Fargo, North Dakota. POI 000. POI 000 incited a riot in several suburbs of Fargo, resulting in 3 deaths and at least 20 injured. Several items appeared to have been stolen from government buildings during the riot, including census data and a list of German language translators used last year in an investment in local government projects by a German company. Final update. 12th of May, 1976. On the 5th of October, 1975, a major incident involving POI 000 and SCP-5353 took place in Pierre, South Dakota. An altercation between the two was reported to have taken place outside and in an empty apartment. Witnesses reported seeing a homeless man running from the scene, as well as a man in a white suit walking with a heavy limp and bleeding profusely. One witness reported seeing a man in a long coat fall from a window, but no body was recovered matching this description. The apartment in question was reported to have been empty since 1955. Inside, however, were signs of recent habitation, including an extensive collection of World War II memorabilia, several bodies of whiskey, books in German, and files on Nazi war criminals. A note was also found, written in somewhat old-fashioned German. A transcript can be found below. Document 5353-1. This body has to remember. Some body has to remember. Though this page can remember. Once, there was a boy named Fritz Obermeyer. You will not find his name in any records. Fritz Obermeyer never died, but ceased to exist in 1917. He met a man in the trenches. An American from across no man's land. And then his body was no longer his own. It belonged to nobody. Then there was a man called Nobody, who strode across Europe for almost 40 years, always concerned with the task at hand. No one noticed him, but they would still shudder at the sight of a long coat. The body, the mind, the personality within did not mind being bit to a single will, because he was cold and lost and alone in the trenches and never wanted to go back. There was no dread and boredom and more, no more contemplation, just action. Then Nobody moved on, and another man lost his name. But the body that had once belonged to Fritz Obermeyer remained, and it was nothing. It had no identity. It had no personhood. No one could call it by any name. No one knew it was even there. All it had ever been was a function. A soldier, then a fist, then nothing. It had been warned about this by a man in white, but it hadn't listened. It still wasn't convinced that the man had been right. The nothing lived for many more years. There were no easy answers. It never knew what it could have been. It ate and aged and gnawed its own head at night. Then it saw 2 men outside its window, and that was the end of that. The world is not a ruin to be admired and exalted. But the world also does not exist to be subordinated to a single will. It exists because it does. Endless narratives after narratives that pick each other apart. There is no meaning. There is no identity. There is only the endless, dragging, all-consuming wholeness of existence. Who would Fritz Obermeyer have been? His identity, his name, his very way of being, they became a shade. A ghost that moved through the world. A memory that was never spoken. Until it was brought up by someone who only existed through scraps. A figure who was nothing, and yet so many things. A rag and bone man, who only was because of what people left behind. There is no good. There is no evil. Neat. Also, how's the audio quality? Like I said, we're in a new setup, so I don't know how this is going to sound. So I hope it sounded okay. That was a good one. That's a good article, yeah. I like that. It's a good one. Thumbs up. It's not a white suit, though. One second, I'm gonna go turn the air conditioning down a tad. This is my computer, not yours. Don't go anywhere. Audio was good. Okay, just checking because I know it echoes a bit more, and I couldn't keep up the blanket over my head. I was dying. Time to go swimming. Another longer one. Oh, man. No, I just noticed a thing. There you go. Whose computer? Who was phone? Not as long as the other. That's true. And you know, after the Astroneer, I don't know if there's anything that'll be that. Well, that's not true. There's a lot of long ass fucking SCPs. Clean up the pool. Clean up on aisle pool. Like the self-cleaning pool. Man. 1 second. I need to... I feel weird. Not like sick or anything, just weird. Oh, man. One sec, I need to clean my glasses. As much as I can, anyway. Bah. One SCP took about 7 hours of content to read it for a channel. Yeah. Some of them get really long. Some people wrote whole goddamn novels and uploaded them. That's super damn long. That's an audiobook. That's a fucking audiobook. That's not an internet article. Have glasses? Yeah, same. I just got them back like a couple weeks ago. Pretty good. All right. Pool Boy. Item number SCP-7222. Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-7222 is allowed free roam of the Kagan Memorial Recreation Center's swimming pool. As the Recreation Center is within Site-19's SARC, Site-Adjacent Residential Complex. Allowing SCP-7222 to fulfill its purpose improves its morale, and has the nominal benefit of keeping the floor of the pool slightly cleaner than normal. Description: SCP-7222 is a Pool Blaster CX-1 submersible robotic vacuum cleaner, specifically designed to clean the floor and walls of a swimming pool. It is capable of completely digesting any object within its waste compartment. So, do you accept recommendations? If so, add SCP-7243 to your list. We'll add that to my list. Also, thank you. I need to restart this anyway. 7243. I need to restart this because my audio thing is messed up. I need to restart that. There we go. That was weird. How are you, Nuria Kea? I don't think we'll be doing that one today, but I will add it to the list. Oh, man. Alright, let's try that again. Pool Boy. Item number SCP-7222. Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-7222 is allowed free roam of the Kagan Memorial Recreation Center's swimming pool. As the Recreation Center is within Site-19's SARC, Site-Adjacent Residential Complex. Allowing SCP-7222 to fulfill its purpose improves its morale, and has the nominal benefit of keeping the floor of the pool slightly cleaner than normal. Description: SCP-7222 is a Pool Blaster CX-1 submersible robotic vacuum cleaner, specifically designed to clean the floor and walls of a swimming pool. It is capable of completely digesting any object within its waste compartment, and using energy gained in the process to sustain itself without electricity, and attaining high speeds exceeding 90 kilometers per hour on land. Additionally, it is sapient. It is hypothesized to have spontaneously gained self-awareness and intelligence due to a combination of its prolonged close proximity to multiple sapient artificially intelligent conscripts employed by the Foundation. Its repeated exposure to reality-altering entities and phenomena, its endearing anthropomorphism by pool patrons and staff. Despite these traits, its performance as a vacuum cleaner is below average for a product of its type. SCP-7222 cannot vocalize and is unwilling to communicate directly with Foundation personnel. Its sapience was initially hypothesized due to, and confirmed via observation of its other patterns of behavior. It prefers to remain within the swimming pool in which it is employed at all times, and reacts to verbal stimuli from pool patrons and attending Foundation personnel. Footnote: due to Kagan Memorial Recreation Center's location within a SARC, all employees, Recreation Center staff, pool maintenance assistants, and lifeguards are low-level security personnel employed by the SCP Foundation. Although most are unaware of its sapience, many pool patrons have been found to refer to SCP-7222 in endearing, anthropomorphic terms. These include referring to it using human instead of object pronouns, assigning affectionate nicknames to it, and encouraging it in its cleaning. Though this was initially conjectured to be caused by a mimetic compulsion effect, it is most likely a result of pareidolia. Footnote: the human tendency to observe patterns, in this case, a face and seemingly intelligent behavior, in random disordered visual stimuli. Addendum: relevant surveillance camera logs. For additional context, transcripts of several of SCP-7222's interactions with pool patrons and staff, and its reactions to their conversations, will be included below. Logs are auto-transcribed and updated by NLOCCFL-TASUCOAR-ELAK-ASBSTD.AIC. SCP-7222 appears to be especially receptive to conversations pertaining to Lake Providence, a local landmark 10 miles to the north of Kagan Memorial Recreation Center. As Lake Providence was a popular swimming location before the establishment of Site-19 and its SARC in 1986, older patrons will often bring it up in conversation while swimming in the pool. It is also well known among younger generations for its local historical significance. Since 1955, more than 100 noteworthy artifacts have been discovered within this lake, and a newsworthy event has occurred at or near the lake every year since Foundation record-keeping began in 1967. Begin logs. Security Officer Tyler Uman sits at his lifeguard post. It is 3:30 p.m. The pool is at capacity. SCP-7222 can be seen moving across its floor. An elderly pool patron wades towards Uman.
Wow. Wow. What's up? Nothing. Just taking it in. Feels fucking great. Especially on a day like this. Damn right. Especially for an old motherfucker like me.
Uman grins politely.
Back when I was a kid, it would have been Lake Providence.
SCP-7222, which is passing by the patron, pauses.
Yeah, it used to be more than just a shoe polish factory's dumping grounds. We didn't have to worry about any of that shit going on now. Just swimming in that cool, clean water. Heard someone died there recently. Some kid. Yep, the boy got a brain-eating amoeba.
The patron looks around, absent-mindedly stirring the pool water at his waist.
Gotta clean that place out. Ain't nothing like swimming in a lake. I swear, if they cleaned Lake Providence out like it used to be, you'd be out of work. Ain't nothing like it.
The patron wades away from Uman, and SCP-7222 continues moving across the floor of the pool. A group of people, presumably a family consisting of a grandfather, his children/children-in-law, and his infant grandchild, is gathered on the pool deck. It is now 5:03 p.m.
Like that drought. I remember that.
An older patron in the group, presumed to be the former's father, nods.
That's just what I'm talking about. That was a hell of a time. My uncle, he was a farmer. He'd come over and sleep in our guest bedroom. Everything just dried up. But then, at Lake Providence, on the bottom of Lake Providence, you know what they found? A fucking dinosaur. A fossil. The most perfectly preserved one is ever found in this state. And when they sold it to the National History Museum in Philly, they got enough to pay for better irrigation systems. And back 20 years ago, remember that? The old briefcase? Now, what are you on about? Don't tell me you don't remember that. It was in all the newspapers. Some young boy was out swimming having a good time and his foot brushed up against something. And when he hooked it to his foot and pulled it up, it was his grandpa's briefcase. Had all sorts of shit from the war in it. Old passport, army Bible, Japanese flag he took as a trophy. His family been looking for that shit for years. And it was preserved. Nearly perfect. That's what I'm talking about. There've been more. There's been more. Probably tons of shit we don't know about it. And that's why they shut it all down. Alright, I was with you till now. Of course you don't know what's really going on. Why do you think we can't swim there no more? The brain-eating amoeba? Now, something doesn't quite add up. Cause I was over there dipping my whole head under every week since I was in Nevaeh's age. And I didn't get no brain-eating amoeba or plankton in my head or nothing. And the shoe polish factory only came to town after the dinosaur and the briefcase and loads of other shit made the news.
The older patron taps his head with his finger.
Lake Providence was a gift from God. And they don't want nobody getting any closer to God or nature. That's why we can't go there no more. Who's they?
The older patron ignores her.
That's why we gotta go to the pool. They want our kids to go in there and get all that chlorine all up in their brains, so they don't want to go out no more and get addicted to League of Legends or World of Minecraft or the satanic Grand Theft Auto bullshit. It's all part of their plan to control us. This is what I was warning you about. Laugh at me all you want. Laugh at me all you want. But the fact is, we gotta take matters into our own hands. Somebody's gotta clean out Lake Providence himself, because the government ain't doing shit. Whatever you say.
The younger male patron points at security officer Daryl Heyman, who is sitting at a lifeguard post adjacent to the pool's shallow end. Heyman turns to him.
Careful now. You never know who they've got listening to you. What?
The older patron shakes his head and sits back. For the past few minutes, SCP-7222 has been clinging to the wall of the pool closest to the family and bobbing at the surface of the water. When their conversation ends, SCP-7222 returns to the pool's floor and continues moving across it. Doctors Jeremiah Cimmerian and William Weddle stand in the pool next to the rope, delineating the shallow and deep ends. It is 6:20 p.m. Adult swim. They and an older civilian are the only people in the pool.
Short notice. Still, it's good to be able to relax before getting into it. Sure, if that's what you want to call it.
Cimmerian glances at Weddle.
I was the one who twisted Simmons' arm into letting us have a little break, you know. I've been briefed on everything else you've had to do. I mean, it's no lake day, but you can at least pretend you're enjoying yourself more than usual. Alright, this is better than a day at the lake. I'll give you that. I know Lake Providence isn't as nice as it was when I was a kid, but it'd be better than this. No chlorine, no strangers' bodily fluids. A lot bigger and deeper, too. Are you sure you know who I am?
Cimmerian shrugs.
What's the worst that could have happened?
Cimmerian turns away. SCP-7222 passes behind him. It runs over Weddle's foot, then turns in the direction of a nearby penny.
Ow! Shit!
SCP-7222 passes over the penny, but fails to pick it up, instead launching it upwards with such force that it exits the pool, and arcs perfectly into Weddle's mouth. Weddle begins to choke and clutches at his throat.
Ow!
SCP-7222 turns around and quickly moves away from Weddle, before disengaging itself from the pool floor and colliding backwards with Weddle's lower abdomen. Nothing happens. Weddle continues choking, and SCP-7222 moves away from him again. Taking a longer running start, it rams Weddle again with more force. The penny is dislodged from his throat, but he loses his footing and falls backwards onto the rope, delineating the deep and shallow ends of the pool. The penny bounces off Cimmerian's head and lands on the pool deck in front of him.
Oh, look!
Cimmerian picks up the penny and turns to Weddle. The latter man is in the process of attempting to disentangle himself from the rope.
Did something happen? I was dozing off.
Weddle glares at Cimmerian. SCP-7222 begins to move away from the two men. SCP-7222 is moving across the pool floor towards an orange object, presumably a rubber hairnet. It drives over the object and fails to pick it up. It repeats this several times before turning away. A pool patron, a young man, passes by, watching SCP-7222.
Come on, little buddy. You can do it.
SCP-7222 turns back towards the hairnet and passes over it without picking it up again. It repeats this 5 more times, driving backward and forward. On its 6th try, it finally picks up the hairnet and sucks it completely into its waist compartment. The patron applauds.
There you go. Good job.
Security Officer Uman, sitting at his lifeguard post, laughs and addresses the patron.
Don't patronize him. He'll go to his head. Ow. He hasn't got one.
Both laugh. SCP-7222 continues slowly away from them into the pool's deep end. It is 6:54. 5 patrons remain in the pool. Security Officer Uman stands by at the poolside, looking at his phone with his whistle in his mouth. At 6:55, Uman blows the whistle.
Almost 7 o'clock. Everyone out the pool, it's closing time.
The patrons leave the pool and begin to pack their things. SCP-7222 appears to pace across the bottom of the pool. Security Officer Heyman unlocks a gate to a walkway leading to the recreation center.
Make sure to grab your clothes, your keys, and don't forget your kids.
SCP-7222 climbs up the wall of the pool, exits, and moves towards the end of the pool deck farthest from the patrons and the two security officers. It pauses before moving back into the pool. It appears to have left a necklace and two mismatched hoop earrings on the deck. The patrons have all exited. Uman and Heyman begin to clean the pool deck and fish trash and leaves out of the pool. Uman notices the jewelry from afar and walks over to retrieve it.
Hey, Daryl. Someone left some jewelry here. Give me it. Might still be able to get it back to whoever lost it.
Heyman walks over to Uman, converses with him for a few seconds, and takes the jewelry. While the security officers are occupied, SCP-7222 exits the pool and quickly moves to the open gate. Heyman brings the jewelry to the pool's front gate, shouts after the patrons who remain in the recreation center's parking lot. He then places the jewelry on a table next to the entrance. He shouts at Uman.
I'll just leave it over here. Whoever's lost it's got to come back for it tomorrow. Sounds good.
Uman returns to cleaning the pool. After a few seconds, he stops, scans the pool and the pool deck, then shouts at Heyman.
Where's 7222?
Uman and Heyman are reviewing security camera footage on the recreation center computer. SCP-7222 can be seen exiting the recreation center's parking lot and hesitating before turning right.
Where could it possibly be going? It's gonna show up here somewhere. All we've got to do is report the breach.
Uman sits up and snaps his finger.
Oh my god. What? Lake Providence is going to Lake Providence. How do you? Oh, that's gotta be it.
Uman and Heyman stand up. Uman retrieves a shepherd's hook. Footnote: a tool used to aid drowning individuals in exiting a pool. From the side of the pool, and follows Heyman to his car. Security officers Uman and Heyman are in Uman's car. Heyman drives. Uman holds the shepherd's hook out of the car and uses his free hand to hold his cell phone.
Surprised this didn't get through earlier, considering we've got an active containment breach on our hands, so... Look, all we need is a task force equipped for non-lethal small entity capture on Access Road 1903. That's all I'm... Which one? SCP designation 7222. Are you... Stop laughing!
Uman huffs and throws his phone into the back seat.
She hung up. Figures.
Far ahead of the car, SCP-7222 becomes visible moving down the shoulder. Heyman points.
We don't need him. Get ready.
Uman leans out of the window, holding the shepherd's hook in both hands. Heyman accelerates the car, and they quickly gain on SCP-7222.
Is it getting faster
SCP-7222 accelerates, and Newman swipes at it with the hook. He misses, and SCP-7222 overtakes the car. The car and SCP-7222 pass a sign, Lake Providence, 1 mile. The car trails behind SCP-7222 by approximately 3 meters.
Speed up! On this road? We can't let that thing break containment? Come on, man, they don't even care. We can't.
Heyman sighs, stares grimly forward, and accelerates the car. It closes in on SCP-7222 by 1 meter before the entity quickens its pace. The car now trails behind SCP-7222 by approximately 5 meters.
I'm not getting us in an accident over that thing.
Lake Providence becomes visible. SCP-7222's pace becomes faster as it rounds the last curve to the lake. SCP-7222's speed is such that its treads begin to melt. It leaves long lines of burnt rubber behind it as it continues forward. Approximately 10 meters from Lake Providence, a large portion of the left side of SCP-7222's casing spontaneously shatters. SCP-7222 continues forward unimpeded. Approximately 6 meters from Lake Providence, SCP-7222 crosses from the road into the grass. The change in terrain and the entity's speed cause it to tumble end on end, before coming to rest upside down approximately 3 meters from the edge of Lake Providence. Officers Zuman and Heyman stop their car, exit, and run towards it. SCP-7222 twitches, rocks itself back and forth, and rights itself. Uman dives at it, but it narrowly escapes and moves the remaining distance to Lake Providence. As Uman and Heyman look on, SCP-7222 moves into the lake. It activates its vacuum, and plumes of soil from the lake bed are sent up by the motion. As the soil settles, SCP-7222 becomes partially buried. As it continues deeper into the lake, it buries itself further. After 1 minute, SCP-7222 is no longer visible. Uman and Heyman stand by the lake bed. Uman curses, turns away, and begins to brush grass off the front of his shirt and pants.
I'll call them this time. Thanks.
End logs. Addendum. Updated containment procedures. SCP-7222 is most likely still active within Lake Providence, as is evinced by the frequent detection of small upwellings of soil, consistent with its exhaust patterns from the bottom of the lake, and the fact that it has still not been found, despite extensive sweeps of the surrounding area. As its presence within the lake is hardly noticeable, and it does not and likely will never exhibit any desire to leave, its containment procedures have been revised to allow it to roam freely within Lake Providence. Of note, since SCP-7222's introduction into Lake Providence, the lake's Naegleria fowleri, colloquially known as brain-eating amoeba, population has declined considerably. You were wrong, it was longer. That was fun. Don't know if we needed quite so many articles, like quite so many logs. But it was fun. Also, hello, Miss Lily and SCP-079, the old AI. How you two doing? Sorry for not acknowledging. I don't like to interrupt a reading. I hope you're both doing good. Don't know if they're still here. Sound like something from Looney Tunes with how they were chasing after it. Quick, after that pool vacuum cleaner. Get him! Get his ass! Look at him, he's so happy. Now he just lives in a lake, eating all the amoebas. Good for him. Ugh. Whoa, I'm falling over and dying. Excuse me. That was the last of my water. All I got is Diet Coke. Oh no. Oh no. Saving people, yep. 7222 is the little pool cleaner that could. I believe in him. Alright, what are the links we're looking at for the others here? Oh my god. This actually isn't as long as it seems, because a lot of it is just these images. From brain-eating amoebas. Yeah. I've arrived. Welcome, Derpy. Bunch of pictures, yeah. This one seems like it's gonna be pretty middling length. Not short, but it's not gonna be as long as the others because a lot of them are just the foundation. Yeah, going back and forth. There's that. There's this one, which seems to be relatively normal. Like middle length. And this one, which is going to be shorter. Make sure they're all lined up. Torturing myself and listening to all the 2024 Eurovision songs at least once? Oh. Don't hurt yourself. Anyway, we've been going for almost an hour and a half. So, I'm going to take a break to rest my voice a little bit. So, get up, walk around, stretch your legs, all that good stuff. We will be right back. Also, I'm gonna plug in my phone, so this is my computer, not yours. Hey, I'm back. How y'all doing? Whoa, I'm okay. Alrighty. I still got another like 30 minutes, 30 or so minutes in me. We can do some more. Oh, oops. Get that closed. Alright, let's turn the music back down. There we go. Skibbity-beep-boo. Dibbity-beep-beep-boo. Alrighty. Next. Feeding the Trolls. Item number 8999. Level 3 Confidential. Containment Class Euclid. Disruption Class Eki. Risk Class Danger. Special Containment Procedures. Obi Parish has been purchased and shuttered by the SCP Foundation. All communication with SCP-8999 must be approved by Research Group 8999 before initiated. Received communication from SCP-8999 is to be scanned and archived. Seismic activity caused by SCP-8999 is subject to standard Foundation cover-up protocol. Description: SCP-8999 refers to entities, unknown in number, presumably located in a vast subterranean cavern system, 35 members below the Obi Parish, an evangelical Lutheran church in Kalmar, Sweden. While SCP-8999 have not been physically observed, their existence has been documented through extensive communication with the SCP Foundation. SCP-8999 are sapient and capable of articulating themselves through symbols and pictographs. This communication has occurred exclusively through a modified dumbwaiter lift system constructed in the parish basement. Attempts to record footage of SCP-8999 by attaching a camera or surveillance drone to the lift have been unsuccessful. Further communication with the entities has indicated that they possess a desire to remain unseen and are aware of the presence of cameras. SCP-8999 possesses a degree of control over seismic activity in the surrounding area through unknown means, and have been responsible for tremors reaching magnitudes of up to 7.0 on the Richter scale. These events exclusively occur as a result of dissatisfaction with communication between SCP-8999 and the Foundation. SCP-8999 are largely disinterested in communication that does not involve or center around food. Addendum 8999.1 Discovery: SCP-8999 were discovered by Father Zacharias Aber, the presiding priest at Obi Parish, sometimes during the late 20th century. According to his memoirs, Aber began communication with the entities after hearing noise coming from a fault line that had opened in the parish basement after seismic activity. Believing it to be a result of individuals trapped underground, Aber began lowering food and supplies via a pulley system. While the food and drink were accepted, any inedible materials were returned to the surface. Over a period of time, Bayberry established a communication system using paper and pen, and discerned that SCP-8999 were not human, instead referring to them in his writing as trolls. Bayberry maintained a relationship with SCP-8999 through the remainder of his life, frequently feeding the entities and constructing a more sophisticated lift to deliver their food. On 2023, September 18th, Bayberry died of natural causes. In his last memoir, Bayberry entrusted the care of SCP-8999 to his nephew, Emil Bayberry. An excerpt, translated from Swedish, has been included below. It is through my faith in the Lord, the shepherd and his flock, that any worries are put at ease. God's grace shall continue to uplift this humble rock as a beacon of love, kindness, and generosity, even without my presence. And to Emil, my beloved nephew, keep mind of those who live beneath our feet, as they are God's creations as well. Please take care of my dear trolls. They are not christened, but I would read passages from the Lord's book to them and could feel their spirits quelled. They are quite intelligent and receptive to simple symbols, such as the question mark and the arrow. However, their appetites are ravenous and particular. I have left detailed instructions on the recipes I have prepared for them throughout the years. My judgment has led me to believe that it is in their best interests to be fed on a light diet of fruits and vegetables, which they cannot find underground. They have shown great appreciation for this nourishment, though remain particular in its preparation and presentation. Please consult the instructions I have prepared for you. Within days, intense, prolonged seismic activity occurred in Kalmar. Foundation investigation quickly discovered the existence of SCP-8999. Through a law enforcement report filed by Emil Bayberry, Zacharias' nephew, who purported that the origin of the activity was occurring as a result of the lift in the parish basement. An excerpt from the Foundation interview with Emil has been included below. Emil Bayberry.
He was a priest, so I wasn't expecting a fortune or anything, but,
Agent Palmer.
You inherited his trolls. I guess, man. I couldn't find that cookbook at all. Like, how was I supposed to know what they ate? So, what were you feeding them? Some kebab? Pizza, little liquors, that sort of thing? They sent up this. I don't think they liked it. I don't even know what they wanted. I sent down some fruits like he said, but they sent those back up too. Guess that's when they realized something was up, because the earthquake started right after. I'm really sorry, sir. I've never fed trolls before. That's quite alright, Emil.
Emil Bayberry was amnesticized, and following cover-up operations of the seismic activity in Kalmar, the Foundation seized Dobie Parish and began communication with SCP-8999. Addendum 8999.2 Communication Log. The Foundation established communication with SCP-8999 on 2023, September 24th, using drawings and symbols that were sent down via the lift via paper. A sheet of blank paper and a pen were also included to prompt a response. A log of significant interactions between SCP-8999 and the Foundation has been included below. Date: 2023, September 24th. The Foundation. SCP-8999. The Foundation. SCP-8999. The Foundation. SCP-8999. After some debate among researchers, it was determined that SCP-8999 were requesting an eggplant. A bundle of eggplants were sent down the lift. They were promptly sent back to the surface. Minor seismic activity occurred shortly after. Date: 2023, September 25th. The Foundation. SCP-8999. 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 As the Foundation was unable to determine what SCP-8999 was requesting, the entity was presented with a variety of choices. Date: 2023, September 26th. The Foundation. SCP-8999. A platter of the above items alongside several other similarly shaped foods were delivered to SCP-8999. All were rejected. Seismic activity occurred shortly after. The Foundation. SCP-8999. The Foundation. SCP-8999. The Foundation. SCP-8999. Communication with SCP-8999 was paused in order to better assess its requests. A variety of foods were tested and met with rejection, and subsequent seismic activity in the following weeks. On 2023, October 17th, SCP-8999 initiated communication, marking the first time it had done so. Date: 2023, October 17th. SCP-8999. The Foundation. SCP-8999. The Foundation. SCP-8999. The Foundation. SCP-8999 were provided with a box containing a collection of images of a variety of foods and objects, and were prompted to choose among them. The images were returned without communication. Seismic activity continued, intensifying in magnitude. Communication with SCP-8999 was postponed indefinitely, though the entities continued to initiate conversation without response. Date: 2023, October 23rd. SCP-8999. 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 553 repeated communications excised. Date: 2023, October 20th, SCP-8999. In an effort to stop the intense seismic activity, SCP-8999's head researcher, Dr. Pirelli, offered to travel down the lift and attempt to further SCP-8999's communicative ability. As the cover-up of seismic activity proved costly for the Foundation, and little headway was made in determining SCP-8999's desires, Dr. Pirelli's request was approved by his site's Board of Experimentation. On 2023, October 28th, Dr. Pirelli descended the lift. Boxes of communicative tools were sent down immediately after, including pictures, graphs, and writing utensils. Communication with Dr. Pirelli was lost shortly after his descent. All communication with SCP-8999 ceased for 3 days. On 2023, December 31st, October 31st even, SCP-8999 reopened communications. SCP-8999. The Foundation. SCP-8999. 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 Oh my god, they're eating him. And when they're done, they're going to eat me. Oh my god. Don't feed the trolls. Ow, my knee. I like this. This was cute. Even though it, ended with a person getting eaten. Photos of evil. Evil! That was cute. Yeah, except for the people that got eaten. Oh, man. They're just a bunch of hungry guys. They just want a snack. They're hungry. And it turns out that guy was food. Hungry. Hungry. Oh man, I feel weird. I'm sure I could finish this. I'm sure I could get these two done. Average size SCP length, rest in peace. Yeah, rest in peace, Dr. Pirelli. Those are hungry, hungry people. Hungry, hungry trolls. Hungry. Alright. let's get going, because I still have to make the shorts and also get to bed because I feel weird now. So, the Fluoridated Man. Item number SCP-1862. Object class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-1862 is to be contained in a chamber of similar proportions and furnishings to a Class II humanoid containment cell, but with all inner surfaces constructed entirely of plexiglass, polyethylene, polypropylene, or other 1862 safe materials. A complete list of 1862 safe substances may be found in Document 1862-A. Unexposed structural elements may be constructed of standard materials. The containment cell is to be outfitted with an airlock to prevent contamination of the rest of the facility. All personnel entering the chamber must be wearing 1862 safe full-body protective suits, complete with respirators. In the event of contamination, personnel are to immediately wash and apply calcium gluconate gel to the affected area, then report to the infirmary for treatment. Contingent on continued good behavior, SCP-1862 is to be provided with music, 1862 safe writing materials, and access to television shows and news projected into the cell. Other requests may be approved on a case-by-case basis by the project director. SCP-1862 is to be provided with 3 liters of distilled water each day, contained in 1862 safe bottles. Additionally, once per week, a piece of fluorite of no less than 200 milligrams is to be given to SCP-1862. SCP-1862 is under the impression that it is in the custody of the FBI's Unusual Incident Unit, and current policy is to allow it to continue in that belief. Description: SCP-1862 appears to be a young male human of Hispanic descent, with dull yellow skin. All organs and systems of SCP-1862 are based on fluorine. Skin and most connective tissue is constructed of impure polytetrafluoroethylene, more commonly known as Teflon. Internal structures are all made of various fluorine compounds. In place of blood, SCP-1862 has oxygen-carrying perfluorochemicals. Instead of sweating, SCP-1862 secretes hydrofluoric acid. SCP-1862 requires oxygen and exhales a mixture of fluorine and gaseous hydrogen fluoride. Though SCP-1862 cannot eat food, it requires water, and fluorite has proven beneficial for its health. How SCP-1862 continues functioning despite its aberrant biochemistry is presently unclear. Prior to containment, SCP-1862 was an orderly named Michael Serrano at a Washington, D.C. hospital. On the side, he ran a conspiracy website, www.truthoffluorine.blank, dedicated to proving that the United States government was poisoning its citizens through fluoridated drinking water. For a sample of the content of the site, please consult Addendum 1862-10. Of possible note is that among the approximately 1,400 regular posters on the site's forum, at least 30 went missing within a 6-month period before the containment of SCP-1862. The connection between SCP-1862's website and its present condition is unknown. Addendum 1862-10. The following are excerpts from www.truthoffluorine.blank, a website created and operated by Michael Serrano before he became SCP-1862. For decades now, USA Gov has been poisoning us through our everyday products. Our nation's water system is churning with poison. That poison is called fluorine, element 9, and it's a poison of body, mind, and soul. Studies show that fluorine lowers IQ by as much as 10 points each year of continued exposure. They do this to keep us docile, so we don't care that USA Gov has turned on us. Even now, a campaign of brainwashing and intimidation and bone melting is being waged against we the people. And the weapon of choice of USA Gov is Fluorine 9. I spoke to my contact in the UIU, and he told me how he and some friends got sent down to the treatment, poisoning, plan of McMillan by their supervisor. This was on the 18th, 2 times 9, of the month, and the UIU is Division 9 of the FBI. When he got there, they gave him and the others canisters with some liquid to wheel into the basement. They told him that if one of the canisters tipped over, he and his friends would die, and they would dump the bodies in sand towers where they wouldn't be found. Are you wondering what I was when he told me this? That's right. What could have been in those canisters that's worth killing him over if he found out what was inside them? It's not so simple as to just avoid the poison taps. Many bottled water companies are traitor and fill their bottles with poison tap water. USA Gov has some fluoridate on their water on site. They don't mention this on the bottles because they know that we the people won't stand for it. If you buy just the right brands, the supermarkets, super dupes, record it and give all your information to anyone who comes asking. They also make it so your coupons don't work there. Then, UIU sector or hand agents come to your house and pump you full of Fluorine 9 until you do whatever they say. So get your water off the grid. Still wise to check at the supermarket every so often, though, if they still take your coupons. If they ever don't leave your house for the next few days and don't answer the door. Addendum 1862-20. Excerpt from an interview with SCP-1862 regarding its behavior in containment.
Then you are not bothered by remaining in containment, perhaps indefinitely? Nah, I'd just be putting everyone around me in danger. Can't have someone like me who knows what I know running around, right? Besides, I get to know I was right all along. How many people get to see behind the veil of lies, man? We still haven't been able to find any evidence of the attempts to poison the water supply. The amount of fluorine added to water and fluoridation is well within safe limits. Doc, that's the point. There are no safe limits. Jeez, I love you guys, but the sector really does keep you in the dark. Better than getting picked up by the hand, at least. Wouldn't want to be bowing to their star gods. I see. I believe we're done for today. Thank you for your cooperation. Wait, can I ask a question? I can't promise I'll be able to answer, but I suppose you can, yes? The sector. Is that short for Sector Control Protocol? I don't believe I know the answer to that. Yeah, I figured you wouldn't. Okay, one last one. The water you give me. You don't get it from the tap, right? No, we don't. Good. That's good. You know what kind of stuff they put in tap water?
Alright, that was fun. I spoke to my contact in the UIU, and he told me how he and some friends get sent down to the treatment plant of McMillan by their supervisor. It's just fun talking like that. We the people are the weapon of choice of USA Gov is Fluorine 9. You remember when people freaked out about fluorine? I remember when people were freaked out about fluorine in their water. Simpler times. Simpler times. The music dropped perfectly there. I have no way of knowing, because I don't wear headphones during these streams so that I can hear myself talk perfectly. Sounds like a typical conspiracy theorist. Oh, fluorine? This was a big conspiracy theory. This is what Alex Jones used. This is why he would sell like water filters. This is real conspiracy. Turned real. It turns the freaking frogs gay, haven't you heard? Excuse me. Alright, we got one more. I think we can do this. So the way that we're going to be handling this is we're going to read this little bit, and we're going to go from one to the next. Maybe I should bring them all up one. FBC showed up, yeah. The inferior FBC. FBC is like in between UIU and Foundation for their competence. The Foundation is obviously more competent, but the FBC is at least better than the UIU. At least they do things, right? The FBC follow, or the UIU follows like polar bears around, like. All right, let's get this done real quick so that I can get the shorts done and go to bed. Fistula.html. Item number SCP-8145. Object class Keter. Special containment procedures. SCP-8145 is contained within its own description. Do not alter, expand, or clarify any content of this entry. Exercise caution when opening or closing the entry. Description: evacuated from safety and warmth and forced to hold open a broken window with shattered glass meeting flesh. When I first had to breathe, I opened myself up, and the world tore through me. Cold are my hands and feet as the heat bleeds out into those who hold me. They put hinges in my lungs. They put doorknobs in my entrails. They put a keyhole in my skull. Cochineal to blood, and selatonite to gall, and lapis lazuli to marrow. I ate the yolk, and I drank the glare, but I couldn't break the shell. It's dead, and it's never coming back, so don't go digging in its coffin. Yippee, Satan. Super quick. I was needed for enchanting. Yeah, you become a wizard. Alright. Alright, we're listening to Cry of Fear. Oh yeah, this is all Cry of Fear, but it's Brandon. Brandon 1. I want to play Cry of Fear again. God damn it. Maybe I'll go watch someone from 2013 play it again. That was a long one. Phew, I know. I know, right? Now I'm surprised we made it through that. Anyway, that was all I had for tonight. It is midnight. So I'm gonna peace. I'm gonna go finish getting the shorts set up for tomorrow. There's one more reading still coming out. Tomorrow these 5 will be set up and they'll come out over the week. And then I don't know, maybe we'll do another reading stream sometimes during the week. I kind of want to, because it's very easy to read like this, because I don't have to spend all the time editing them. Like, I might just do daily readings again. I don't know. Maybe we become an SCP channel or reading channel again. I don't know. It feels a bit lazy, and I really want to stream, and I really want to be my streams. I prefer the streams. Anyway, I'm gonna head out. I will see you all at this point later today when we play more Back to the Future. Probably. Sometimes I end up not having time or energy to stream on Saturdays, but I will try. Thank you all for hanging out. I hope you had a good time, because I certainly did. Y'all have a good night, and I'll see y'all later.